Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Early to CXC. Tonight, we are going to go through paper 1, 2021 of Office Administration. Remember, paper 1 consists of 60 multiple choice questions. Good evening, everyone. And they will be testing you on all 12 topics within the syllabus. You will be tested on all 12 topics on the syllabus. So let's begin. Question number 1. A small package containing important documents is to be mailed to Canada from a Caribbean island. Which postal service would be most suitable? Which postal service will be most suitable? And that answer will be registered mail. Registered mail. Now, the key word here is important. Important is the key word here. So if it's important, you want to ensure that the package reach the particular country to the particular recipient on time. So you go into your postal service provider and request this registered mail service. You can request it. Of course, you have to pay a certain fee. You can request a service that will ensure that the package arrives in that recipient's hand, and you will be notified when they receive it. Number 2, which of the following items would be included in a memorandum? A, the dates. You want to ensure you know the particular dates when the memorandum was done. So the answer is A. Question number 3. In which of the following situations would the relationship between employees be described as vertical? Vertical, and we know vertical is from top down. Horizontal is from left to right. So in this case, it's vertical. Now, if it's vertical, one is senior to the other. So the answer is A. One is senior to the other. Question number 4. Which of the following is the correct sequence to follow on receipt of a suspicious package? A suspicious package. What is the correct sequence? If it was me, I would handle the package carefully, place the package away from me, leave the office, then I would lock the door, and the last thing I would do is inform security. So that is C. C. Question number 5. Assume that you are a new employee in a large firm. While you are awaiting instructions from your supervisor, another employee asks you to help her with her work. You should tell her. What should you tell her? You are a new employee and unfamiliar with her work. That is the most suitable answer there. Of course, we know in multiple choice, you have 4 options. 2 will be completely wrong and 2 will be very close. So you have to choose the most appropriate answer. 6, the science of fitting the workplace to meet the needs of employees is known as the big boy called ergonomics. Ergonomics. 7, the major difference between an operator-assisted call and a direct call is it is monitored by the operator. That is the main difference. It is monitored by the operator. Question number 8. A person who was dismissed from a previous job is filling out an application form for another job. He is required to state the reason for leaving the last place of employment. It is best to ignore the question, answer not applicable, give the correct reason. So the most suitable answer here is you have to give the correct reason because HR will do background checks on you in any case. So you cannot lie. Give the correct reason. No matter how bad it is, give the correct reason. Number 9. Mr. Lee of the sales department asked the receptionist to transfer a call from a customer to Mr. Field of the accounts department. If the call is disconnected while it is being put through to the accounts department, what should the receptionist do in a case like this? Remember, customers come first, right? Customers always come first. So in a case like this, we need to contact the customer, apologize, and connect to Mr. Field. This is the most suitable answer. D. 10. Which of the following statements describes an applicant's curriculum vitae? The most suitable answer here, we don't need to know anything about the life history. We don't need to know the report on the vital scores obtained during the course of study. The most suitable answer here is C, an extended list of his dossier and interests. Now, the meaning of dossier means a collection of documents about a particular person. All right? Question number 11. It is now 3 months since you have applied for a job at a large firm and you have only received a letter of acknowledgement. What action should you now take in an effort to obtain the job? What action should you take? So the most suitable answer here is write a letter to follow up the application. Write a letter to follow up the application. That is the most suitable response there. Question number 12. And so far, all these are repeated questions. They are repeated questions. 12. Which of the following services would usually be offered to customers who have fixed deposit accounts at a commercial bank? Remember, fixed deposits, you cannot touch the money until it has reached its maturity date. The most suitable answer there is higher interest rates than that offered on savings accounts. The most suitable answer is B. 12 is B. 13. Which of the following is not? And now I need you to pay attention to these questions, especially when you see the word not. Which of the following is not a requirement of a letter of application? Which one of these here we don't really need to put it when we're doing a letter of application? Which one here? Not a requirement. Is it A, it should be typed? B, the grammar used should be correct? C, it should request an opportunity for an interview? D, it should indicate the position for which the person is applying. So which one here is not a requirement? A, it should be typed. That is not really a requirement. 14. Which of the following guidelines should be followed by the interviewee during a job interview? All right. Now I want you to pay attention to this question. This is a tricky question. I want you to look out for CXC should they bring this question. And the area I want you to look at is this area here. Now, sometimes CXC will remove the word minimal and put maximum. All right, so look out for that. Now, the question says, which of the following guidelines should be followed by the interviewee during a job interview? Remain pleasant and alert. Yes. Be confident when answering questions. Yes. Maintain minimum eye contact. This is no. So in this question, the answer will be B. Now, if CXC had maintained maximum eye contact, then the answer would have been 1, 2, and 3. Look out for this question. If CXC has the word maximum, all of them would be correct. But because they have minimal, the answer is B. All right, let's go to 15. You work in the records management department of a large firm. In what order should you file correspondence from the following 3 clients? Following 3 clients, right? Okay, so this question came from records management's particular topic. Now, when we're filing, we file with surnames first, all right? So we have Wolford, Wolf, and Woolworth. Who comes first? Which one to file first? Now, the rule, just erase that. So the rule, first letter, okay? The first letter is the same. Look at the first letter. All of them have W in them. So the rule is, when the first letter is the same, we go to the second letter. So let's go to the second letter. O, O, O. All of them is the same. The rule is, you go to the third letter. Third letter, we go into the third letter. So we have O, L, and O. Now, when we're singing the alphabet, which one comes first? The O or the L? L comes first, right? L comes first. So we will have to file Wolf first. Wolf will be filed first, right? Filing Wolf first. So we're only going to focus now on Wolford and Woolworth. Fourth letter is also the same. Rule, go to the next letter. So the next letter, we're competing with F and W. When we're singing the alphabet, which one comes first? A, B, C, D, E, F, F. F comes first. So, therefore, we will have to file Wolford. Wolford. And then Woolworth. So the answer is C. Gonna file Wolf first, then Wolford, then Woolworth. So the answer is C. All right, C. Let's go to question number 16. The correct indexing title of a file for Peter Kenneth John Doe, AASC LLB, is, when we are filing this, remember the rule. We file with surname first, then first name, everything else comes after. Right? So, Jean Doe will be first, then first name Peter, then Kenneth, everything else comes after. So the answer will be B. B. 17. Which of the following methods of filing classification would be most suitable for a manufacturing company with distribution centers throughout the Caribbean? Keyword here is Caribbean. So which classification of filing will you use? If it's Caribbean, you're going to have to use geographical filing. Geographical. 18. Which of the following would be more suitable for storing inactive soft copies of files? Two keywords here, inactive and soft. So soft meaning electronic. We have to file it on some sort of electronic device. So which one is more suitable? So the best answer here is 18 will be D. D. Right? Let's go to number 19. Number 19. Clearly is paid a basic wage of $8 per hour. For a 40-hour week and $9.60 per hour for overtime. Last week, Claire worked 48 hours. What was her total wage for the week? What was Claire's total wage? Now, remember in OA examination for paper 1, you are not allowed to use any calculator. All right? Now, this is a standard basic mathematical question. You don't really need your calculator. All right? So let's do this question in part. This came from overtime. This is overtime we're dealing with here. Now, the first thing we're going to have to do is to calculate her weekly salary first. Before we go into any overtime, let's calculate the weekly salary first. Now, Claire's working for $8 per hour for a 40-hour week. Now, if she's working for 40 hours, so 40, right, multiply by $8, that will give you $320. So a normal given week, Claire works for $320. Beautiful. Some might say small money, but it's still a salary, right? Now let's calculate her overtime. The overtime is $9.60 per hour. Now last week, Claire worked for 48 hours, but her normal hours is 40. So this is telling me Claire worked for 8 hours extra. So if she worked for 8 hours extra, we have to pay her $9.60 every hour extra she worked. So she worked for 8 hours extra. So we have to give her, I'm gonna pay Claire her overtime. So it's $9.60 multiplied by the 8 hours extra she worked, right? That will give us $76.80. $76.80. Now, all we have to do is add the 320 and the 76.80, and we will get $396.80. Okay, so the answer is C. The answer is C. Okay, C. 20. A large office space with many employees working in the same area is referred to as an open plan. The open plan is a large space. Think about a school hall. Everybody brings their desk and their chair to work there. We have no rooms for privacy. Everybody's in the open. That's an open plan. No cubicles or anything. 21. An advantage of centralized filing is that all records are stored and managed in one place. That is what centralized means. You're meeting at a central location, whether it's a photocopying machine, a filing room, We put those things in a central location. So everyone on different floors or department must come down to that one central location to use, whether it's a photocopy machine or filing. So 21 is C. 22, a sum of money given to a cashier at the start of a day to make change is called a float. A float. 23. 23. The accounts department has requested a file from the central filing department. Which of the following actions should the file clerk take? Find out if the file is available, complete an outsheet and place it in the file, ask the person receiving the file to sign for it. All of them is correct. So the answer is D. All is correct. All. 24. Files which are no longer in use and placed in storage are referred to as archive. Archive. We can't throw it away, but we need to keep it in storage. Archive. 25. You are a receptionist and your employer has asked you to cancel his appointment with an important client. What is the most suitable action to take? What is the most suitable action to take? Contact the client, and I want you to look at the options. Contact the client, apologize, and inform him or her that the appointment has been cancelled. B. Most suitable answer is B. Right? Most suitable answer. Let's go to 26. Question number 26. At the annual general meeting of Verona Enterprises, an equal number of votes were cast for and against the motion. What action should the chairperson take to break the tie? Now, this is a standard repeated question. The answer is A. Exercise the casting votes. 27. Which of the following best describes the purpose of the petty cash fund? Now, the petty cash is used to make small purchases. Petty, small. So the best answer there will be D, for making small payments conveniently. 28. Which of the following terms is used to describe a committee which has been set up to deal with a specific matter? Ad hoc. Ad hoc. Ad hoc is a sudden meeting called to deal with a specific matter. 29. The following table shows an extract from a petty cash book. Goods and services, we have cleaning. So someone came for a voucher to purchase cleaning supplies. Another person would have collected a voucher to give to the cashier to purchase postage. Another person would have dropped in a voucher to purchase tea items, 1940. And another person would have dropped in a voucher for travel expenses. The petty cash float is $100 and it is operated on the Impress system. What amount should the petty cashier receive to start the new period? So in this case, all you have to do is add up all the expenses. So you're going to add $30 plus $15 plus $19.40 plus $22. All you have to do is add up all of them. And you should get $86.40. All right? You should get that. Now, if we're going into another month, so we just spent $86.40. right? So actually we remain with $13.60. So if you're going into another month and in your drawer, you're supposed to have a float of $100. In your hand right now, you only have $13.60 because you just used money for these expenses. How much money you need to put together with the $13.60 so you will start with $100 from fresh. It will be the same money that you spent, which is $86.40. That is how much money you need to replenish the Impress system, the exact money that you spent. All right? Question number 30. The chairperson's role in a meeting is to control the discussions and guide members, yes. Make notes of the discussion as it takes place, if he chooses to, yes. Ensure all members are given an opportunity to speak. All of them is correct. Answer D, 30, D. 31. One of the duties of an accounts clerk is to prepare debits and credit notes. It's not the only thing they do, but it's one of their duties. 31, B. 32. Which of the following deductions can be made from wages without obtaining permission from the employee? Now remember, there's two deductions. We have voluntary deductions and we have compulsory deductions. Compulsory deductions is normally taken on by the government and they don't need your permission. So these deductions come in the form of income tax and national insurance. So the answer is A. A. 33. Which of the following documents is sent by the seller when the customer has been undercharged? Debit notes. Must fill out a debit note so your books will balance. Undercharged, debit notes. All right. 34. Mrs. K bought a new stove on hire purchase from New and Used Appliances Limited. She wants to authorize her bank to make monthly payments. Which of the following services should she use? And one of these services is the best thing that ever created. It is the standing order. So Mrs. K don't have to go in any teller line to line up in the bank for hours just to pay a bill. She can organize this particular service, the standing order. Best thing ever created. 35. Let's go to 35. The term verbatim minutes refers to D, an exact wording of the proceedings at the meeting, right? Please don't mix this up with minutes of a meeting. Minutes of a meeting is a summary of what took place. It's just a summary. But verbatim is the exact words that come out from a person's mouth when they speak at a meeting. You have to record everything. See how I'm talking now? You would record everything word for word for word. That's verbatim. Question number 36. If the number of persons required to form a quorum is not present, then the meeting must be postponed. Postponed at one time. 37. One of the most important functions of the Human Resource Department is, and their main function is to attend to the welfare of employees. Always think about Human Resource Department are the parents and employees are the children. So you working at the Human Resource Department must attend to the needs of your children who are the employees. Make sure that they are okay. 38. Have not seen any new questions thus far. All these are repeated questions. An ex officio committee member is one who attends meetings by virtue of an office. C. 39. Remember to subscribe to our channel, Early to CXC. Spread the link, share the link, because we will go on to another question paper and you would see how many questions are repeated. 39. Within a meeting context, a proposal that certain action be taken is known as a motion. 39A, that's a motion. 40. Which of the following items of business is not discussed at an annual general meeting? That answer will be C, making arrangements for an important director. 41. In what order should a secretary complete the following procedures when preparing for a meeting? So the correct order will be ensure that the venue is booked. That is the first thing you have to do. Then you can send notices of the meeting and agenda to all members. Then you could collect information required for use at the meeting. And the last thing, collect stationery for use at the meeting. So the answer will be B. B. 41, B. Let's go to 42. Which of the following would have a major effect on labor turnover? Now, labor turnover is the amount of persons when they're leaving and resigning from their place of employment. Why would people want to leave their jobs? In this case, C, working conditions, the working conditions, deplorable. I can't take it here again, I need to leave. 43, an itinerary gives information concerning. Now, this question came from traveling. There are two itineraries. We have the full itinerary and we have this itinerary. This itinerary only deals with the departure and arrival times of flights. The full itinerary deals with the appointments for the day. So in this case, this itinerary dealing with the departure and arrival times of flights. 44. You are traveling to a destination where the time is 1 hour ahead of your departure time. If your plane departs at 12 noon and your flight takes 1 hour and 15 minutes, on what time would you arrive at your destination? So if your plane departs at 12 noon, it is 1 hour ahead. So currently it's now 1 p.m. The flight takes 1 hour and 15 minutes. So that is 2:15. 2:15. So what is 2:15 using a 24-hour clock? That will be 15 hours. 45. When the 24-hour clock is showing 18:30, and these questions are coming from traveling topic. Remember, 12 topics you will be tested on. This is coming from traveling. When the 24-hour clock is showing 18:30 hours, the time on the 12-hour clock is B, 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. 46. What is the first step that a businessman should take if his cash book and bank statement show a difference of $20? The only thing that he can do is reconcile his bank statement with his cash book. 47. This is an extract from an airline schedule from Barbados to Jamaica. The schedule above shows that the aircraft will stop in Antigua, right, on its way to Jamaica from Barbados. How long will the aircraft be on the ground in Antigua? So we have to check from 4:25 to 7:30. 4:25 to 5:25, that's 1 hour. 5:25 to 6:25, 2 hours. 6:25 to 7:25, that's 3 hours. So 7:25 to 7:30, we have a difference there of 5 minutes. So the answer is A, 3 hours and 5 minutes. 48. Some firms offer a program which aims to assist new employees in becoming familiar with their jobs. This program is referred to as an induction. Induction. 49. The human resource clerk has been asked to go through a list of job applicants and select those who meet the necessary requirements for a job. This process is referred to as shortlisting. Shortlisting. 50. The use of a perpetual inventory system in a large department store enables the calculation of stock levels and values at specific intervals. D. 51. The job an employee has been doing is no longer required by the organization. The employee will be made redundant. 51. C. 52. The Joy High School wants to build a new canteen and has received promotional material from several firms. In order to select the most suitable firm for the job, the school should invite firms to send tenders. Remember, tenders is like a bid. So 52A. 53. The term minimum level on the stock card refers to the lowest balance of stock allowed. 53. B. 53 is B. Right, so we're going on to 54. 54 refers to the following information on the movement of stock. Of the month, receipts, and issues. In January, 15 items were sold at $35. February, 15 items were sold. 30 May, we issued 20. What is the cost of the closing stock at the end of May using the FIFO method? All right, so currently, let's say have 30 items in stock. Let's say we have 30 pencils. Let's call them pencils. 30 pencils in stock. And then in May, we issued 20 pencils. So that will leave us with 10. Right? And now 10, using the FIFO method, multiply by this $30 here, we will get $300. So 54A, 54A. 55. What is the benefit of having insurance coverage during the transportation of goods? What is the benefit of having insurance? It can compensate the businessman in case of a loss. So 55 is D. D. Right? 56. This question came from operations. Operations Dispatch and Transport Department. This is an operations question. What is 20% overhead charge? What is 20% overhead charge? Okay. So we have a job to do. It's to make 12 cushions within 2 days. What items we need to make the 12 cushions? We need fabric, sponge, and thread. So the fabric is costing 600, the sponge is costing 250, and the thread $60. Now we need some sort of human factor to make these cushions. So this is where labor will come in. So the labor is a stitcher. How much money we have to pay the stitcher? 200. So the total cost of labor is 200, not 400. This is a tricky question. CXC put it twice to confuse you, right? It is $200, not 4. It's 200. So the stitcher, we have to pay the stitcher $200, right? So in a nutshell, the total cost of labor, which is the stitcher, is 200. Right? So what we have to do right now, we're going to add 600 plus 250 plus $60 plus the 200, which is labor. So when we add up all of that, remember you will not be allowed to have your calculator within the room. So just take your time. So 600 plus 250 plus $60 plus 200. So that will give us $1,110, right? $1,110. So we got to go there. Now, CXC is asking us what is 20% of the overhead charge. This figure here is the overhead charge. So they want to know what is 20% of this. So all we have to do is find 20%. We have to find 20% of $1,110, right? So 20 divided by 100 multiplied by $1,110 is $222. So we could put the 222 here, so you'll remember this. So let's see if 222 is an option. Yes, it is. So 56 is C. C. Okay? Now, what is the total cost of the job? Now, to do the entire job without the overhead came up to 1,110. When we added the 20% overhead, it came up to $222. So to find the total cost of the entire job, all we have to do is add $1,110 plus the $222. So you're adding this with this, and you should get, and we'll see if it's an option, $1,332. Let's see if that is an option. You look at right here. So the answer for 57 is D. D. All right, 57, D. Let's go to question 58. P. Hawk has a manufacturing business. His raw materials cost $1,900, rates and rents $2,000, and factory wages amount to $2,500. The number of units produced is 640. What is the cost of 1 unit? So to find the cost of 1 unit, what we have to do, we're going to add 1,900 plus 2,000 plus 2,500 let's see, there's a 9 here. So all you have to do, add it, 1,900 plus 2,000 plus 2,500, you will get 6,000 400. Now, to find the cost of 1 unit, all you have to do is divide this into this, right? So 6,400 divided by $640 is $10. So the cost of 1 unit is $10. So 58C. 58C. Let's go to 59. An order for the supply of 4 new laptops was delivered on the 4th of January 2021. The amount due for payment is $2,680. Is subject to a 5% discount if the bill is paid within 28 days. The total cash discount is, now the question never asked how much the person will have to pay, what is the new balance. All the question is asking you for the cash discount. The person is going to get 5% discount. So CX, you just want to know, well, how much is the 5% discount? What is 5% of 2,680? So 5 divided by 100 multiplied by 2680 is $134. A, 59A. All right? All you need to do is find 5% of the 2680. All right, so last question, 60. Question number 60, we've come to the end. Question number 60. The company at which you are employed uses a COD system for selling goods. What is COD? COD is cash on delivery. The answer is B. Number 60 is B. Right? So we've come to the end. That's the end of this paper. This was 2021, and we have completed all 60 multiple choice questions. Remember to subscribe to our channel, Early to CXC, and please be free to share and encourage others to come on to our channel. So next live, we will do another year. And after looking at this particular year, what we have done, you would actually get to see the questions that have been repeated. So look out for our next live.